This week on Zen and not Zen, BroTime, BroTime, BroTime. What am I thankful for? God, I'm really glad I don't have to write with a quill. Oh, yeah. I'm really
ballpoint
glad.
pens, big fucking deal.
Oh, God.
Sliced
Can you imagine? Oh,
on the tongue every time.
Just a fucking pool of ink I have to worry about every time I watch anyone write with a quill.
Fuck.
Pants, very glad for pants. I chafe. I mean, I'm not a tunic bitch at all. Glad we went past
elastic
that.
And like how elastic is. Yeah, no, we Velcro. Yeah, no, it's just so funny.
Poly cotton blend.
Yeah, we literally talked about a stool for like taking a shit and like, oh, that's great, it's changed my life. Yes. It's just like we get all like very, very micro. I'm like, oh, the wheel was a big fucking harnessing fire. Yeah. Oh my god.
BroTime.
Oh man, but I'm serious about that Wu-Tang Nas shit though, man.
Yeah, is that gonna get you at a show?
I want to go. Yeah. Were they at WAMU?
Climate Pledge.
Climate Pledge, shit. Yeah. I saw when Wu-Tang came with Nas and Lauryn Hill at WAMU.
Right. That was just a couple years ago, right?
I do not like that venue. I saw Deftones there last year.
WAMU is awful.
Yeah, it's fucking. It's like, wow. I'm just blown away. It's one thing like when you go to Tacoma Dome. It's like, okay, they built a big wood dome. They didn't fucking know. But it's like Climate Pledge. They fucking dialed that in. Yeah. That does not sound like shit. It sounds good. And it's like, okay, so you're building a fucking venue, and it's within the last 20 years. We should have at least considered the fact that when you walk into a place and clap your hands, and it fucking you still hear it. Maybe amplifiers are going to be worse.
Yeah.
And I'm not, was it audiologist? Yeah. Whatever the fuck those guys are, or sonic engineer, audio engineer.
Yes. The first show I saw in Seattle was at Key Arena. I saw Pearl Jam. And
I might have been at that show. It was like 2003.
Somewhere around there, 2001.
Brad opened for that? Did you see Brad open? Mudhoney and Brad?
No, it might have been earlier than that then. But anyway, and I didn't know shit, and I was like fucking back. I just bought tickets, and we ended up being like behind the stage.
Oh, when they sell out, when they sell so many tickets, that's the worst shit.
I get there, and I'm like we're in not super far, but like we're like stage adjacent. Just back, and I'm like, so I couldn't even really see.
So
I'm like, what the fuck? And then it was
at that point.
And it was shit. It was a horrible audio experience.
So saw the Police at Key Arena, and it was the exact same thing. I was there with it was actually my old assistant manager from when I worked at Starbucks. That's how long ago this was. Shit. Yeah, cool dude. But we got these seats, and it was like we fucking got up there, and it was like nosebleeds in the back, exactly what you're talking. We're looking at a fucking screen. You can kind of see Stuart Copeland, the drummer, and he's one of the draws, but like. That's not what the point is.
Right,
people are there to actually see Sting and shit.
Yeah.
That killed me. I just said that.
Yeah. But
damn good music. We just fucking stood up there. We were there for maybe half a song. We both looked at each other like, this isn't going to work. Like, this is a non-starter. So then we just, went to like a wide open roped off section and like probably $300 more. That was obviously some corporate seats. Nobody there.
Nice.
Oh, these aren't our seats.
Oh my god! The rope is for Robin.
Yeah, that's what the R in rope stands for. But same kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, did you? Yeah.
No, it was annoying. I don't think I've seen another show at the Key Arena.
Well, now you don't have to.
Don't have to.
Yeah. Yeah, I had nosebleeds for Kendrick Lamar at the Tacoma Dome, and it was the worst.
Yeah.
Worst experience I've ever had.
That venue, you got to be down low.
Yeah.
Got to be down low.
4 seconds behind, and I was just like, Jesus.
Especially with hip hop, I've found if you don't go to a properly mixed hip hop show or the venue sucks, it's not fucking worth it. It's like you're listening to it in a garbage can.
Oh, it
fucking sucks.
Absolutely was.
I saw Wu-Tang a number of years ago, and this was back in like late 90s when, I mean, to be fair, it took a long time for audio engineers to get hip-hop live mixes right to where you could actually understand.
Yeah, it was the guy who did Journey shows for 15 years at the same arena. I mean, honestly,
and it was horrible. But I mean, to be fair, like this is before I got into audio engineering. I understand now.
That's right. You fucking went to school for that shit.
But having like
roll off that 200,
15 people on stage, everybody with mics, everybody putting in their own content when they feel it's necessary. It's not like you're following a verse. Sometimes it's a gas. Sometimes you're echoing what the person said. Like it's a fucking nightmare, right? Yeah, totally. For the engineer, it's a beautiful experience, but it's a nightmare for the engineer. So it took him a while to get used to that. But yeah, that Wu-Tang show I saw was terrible. It was garbage. At that time I was poor as shit and paid a bunch of money for being a poor kid. Mm-hmm. But fuck that.
Yeah, now it's just like I go into and I'm going to quite a few shows now, but I just go into it expecting to spend a lot, and I was stoked when my last concert tickets about were $60.
Yeah.
$60. Like, oh shit, okay, that's reasonable.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Just still a fuckload of money. Like,
Right, yeah.
but I mean, I don't even know what a movie theater ticket is. Isn't that $20 now?
Probably like $20, I think. 17 to $20.
I mean, I think the last thing I saw on that. No, I saw 1917. I saw that. That was the last movie I saw.
God, what did I see?
Dude, yeah, man, I'm not. What am I? You? I go to fucking. I get a box of goobers and I just fucking go.
I want to see Cocaine Bear so bad though.
Do they still make snow caps?
I don't think I've heard
You haven't
that.
seen the previews for that? Yeah,
So
I guess.
it's based on a true story
About
where
a bear
there
that
was
ate a
this-
bunch of cocaine.
Yeah. There's a drug runner route that they would drop drugs from a plane, and then people would go pick it up, and a bear got to it first, and they found a bear that had OD'd on cocaine. And so Elizabeth Banks is the director of this movie, and so she decided to see what would be the last 12 hours of this bear's life. What would it look like high on cocaine? It's got like Margot Martindale and shit in it.
Are
It
you
looks
fucking kidding
so
me?
good.
That's
yeah,
one of the
it's
most
like
original ideas
Ice
I've heard in
Cube's
so
son
long.
is in it.
Yeah,
he's-
oh my god, that's awesome.
So it's like them trying to escape a bear that's been high on cocaine. Yeah, like it's the perfect movie. I haven't seen it yet, but I want to see it so bad.
God, it's like the first Sharknado. It's
Yes!
like nobody ever knew it was going to be as good as it was, but like, I'll be
Exactly.
goddamn, it was really good.
I
got
never
3
actually
live
saw
watching
Sharknado.
It's good because it's bad.
Oh, it's great.
It's so good.
Ian
It's
Ziering,
so
though, right?
Ian Ziering, yeah.
I like Ian Ziering getting work.
Yeah,
You know?
totally.
I mean, it's just. It's
Well, he
always
did like 10 of them already. In,
Well, yeah, no,
2
I mean
years?
the Shark, but I mean, what else was he in before that? Besides,
No.
obviously, besides,
Nah,
I mean, duh.
That's it.
I think he
Doi.
did voice work. I think that's what
He's
I
probably
read.
like,
He was
yeah.
doing voice
I mean,
work.
a lot of those people revamp their lives just being on. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker was on a bunch of PS2 games I never
Totally.
played. I know, I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
There's actually a show on Netflix called The Order. It's a pretty good show. It's like werewolves and like magic shit. And
Creatures
I
of
think it's
Yore?
the second season, yeah, but it's more recent time. But in the second season, they get deeper into like the secret society and shit, and they unmask this one guy, and it's Ian Ziering.
No way!
Yeah, totally. And then like later on in the episode, some other guy gets unmasked because he wasn't going
And
to.
it was Brian Austin Green.
Totally.
No way!
No, it was Jason Priestley. It was Jason
Oh,
Priestley.
fuck, dude.
I was like, oh my god!
He was on an episode of The Masked Singer. Is it Ian Ziering?
Oh, yeah.
So-
So he got unmasked there as well, I believe.
I think I haven't watched it, but obviously that '90s show came out, which
I've
is
seen a couple episodes.
So I want to say there was a promo in which they spoofed the 90210 intro. They did a promo for that,
Fuck
and
yeah.
Brian Austin Green is like the last person on the credit thing. It goes to like all these actors who I haven't fucking heard of, and then like Kurtwood Smith and Deborah Jo Rupp, and then Brian Austin Green. Like how I know the parents' actors'
Yeah,
name.
well,
I
I
can't-
I thought
ones.
Kurtwood Smith had passed away.
So yeah, it is kind of. I mean,
I thought he passed away.
I did
don't
too.
know.
The dad, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought he did too.
God, he was so mean in that first RoboCop.
Such an asshole.
Such a mean guy. Good villain.
Oh my god, I love that.
I think he probably still gets shit from that. Probably like nobody gives him shit about being red or being red off that 70 show. It's like, man, you created RoboCop. Like you are the reason why RoboCop exists because you shot a cop in the face. It's so fucked.
Well, RoboCop's a good little segue because RoboCop is an invention, right?
Yeah.
Somebody
Oh, yeah.
invented AI RoboCop kind of guy.
Fuck, dude, that invention thing. So I actually clicked on that link.
Yeah.
Did you click on that link?
Not yet. I wanted it to be
Just raw.
Yeah, raw.
So I thought about this prompt when you said inventions, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. Then I'm like, I thought of like some of that shit was actually on that list though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So inventions.
So I've got
Because she raw dogged it.
Yeah. I don't know
So
what's
she
on
doesn't
the
even
list.
know that.
classic,
Like,
This is
classic
just
case
in-
shot.
well, so
Raw dog and invention.
well, so in the interest of full disclosure, the link you sent like for like pre-show prep, quote pre-show prep was like a link of like what
Inventions in the last 10 years.
It was
that
like
have,
21
benefited
inventions.
humanity.
Yeah.
But I also before you guys got here, I looked at detrimental inventions.
I was thinking of that on the way over.
Yeah, because I wanted to kind of like
What, like the
Play.
Keurig K cup? The guy regrets that one. The inventor, that's like, totally. My bad, bro.
Also, the inventor of the golden doodle was just like, I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah, so my brother has one of those, and that's a great dog, but everyone's talking kind of shit about that now.
They're just...
Overbred, is that the thing? Because it's a hypoallergenic dog?
Well, they're not. They just shed less, but you can't... There's no such thing as a hypoallergenic
I understand. It's still a ball of fur.
All of it's technically, but basically what it does is their top coat holds the dander in better.
Yeah.
It still gets out, just not as much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, definitely not as much.
Well, no, Jesus Christ. The fucking tumbleweeds around here, especially in the shedding season, it's like the Wild West. 100%, man.
It's like an episode of Hey Dude.
It's so beneficial that I love smoking weed and vacuuming because I just get that Swiffer out and I just go doing my thing.
All right, so you've seen Dead Man on Campus, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
so first of all, fantastic movie. Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Yeah.
I totally think of that movie every time because I get lit when I have to clean my bathrooms.
Oh yeah.
And he's like at the end of the movie where he goes and works for his dad in the toilet. He's like, if you get stoned enough, cleaning toilets is actually a Zen-like experience.
Exactly right. I actually listened to a podcast a while ago, and the guy was talking. He was a cannabis. He experiments with cannabis, not just like
who's Zach Morris? Mark Paul Gosselaar?
No. This guy came over the doctor. He's like a literal doctor, but he basically said like if you don't like doing something, smoke some weed and do it because it makes it more better. It makes it more fun, like doing your laundry, putting away dishes. Fucking
the stranger,
what he said.
I wish I kept it, but this is back when I was younger and you didn't hang on to newspapers and shit. But the stranger wrote it's around the time probably when Hemp Fest was still going on. It was like 15, 20 years ago. But it was like how weed will make everything better, makes everything better. It's like make you a better parent. And it was like, it read all this thing like all the games you have to play with your toddlers are pretty fucking boring. But if you're stoned, they can actually be kind of fun.
Dude,
Put the ball in the cup.
Point made, right? So this weekend, last weekend I had my daughter, and she's 14. Love hanging out with her. She's the best. And but she doesn't have friends on this side where she's at, and Monica was out of town, blah blah blah. Everybody's busy, so me and Harsh just hanging out. She wanted to go to the trampoline park.
Hell yeah!
I'm like, I want to go to the trampoline park.
Where is that?
In Everett. It's called Flying Squirrel. It's
fucking
fucking dope.
Even without weed, a trampoline park is fun as shit.
It was fucking dope.
Well, we had a great time at the Family Fun Center with Monica's cousin fucking 10 years ago.
Batting cages.
That place is closed now. Yeah, batting cages is funny because that's the only time in which, sorry to talk shit, here we go. You've got a fairly large cranium.
Oh, yeah.
But when you put a batting helmet on, you look like Jack in the Box's son playing football.
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious. Actually did pretty well in the batting cage. Like, I'll give credit where credit's due, but it was just like, that's funny. I never thought I'd see Adam wearing a batting helmet. And of course those look like shit. Those would look bad on Ken Griffey Jr., the coolest baseball player ever.
It really accentuates the
noggin,
yes.
the Easter Islandness.
Another person that invented something that immediately regretted it was the person who invented the pop-up ads.
Oh, that motherfucker.
I think he was like, the story that I read was this person invented it and was like, oh, fuck. And was really hesitant about presenting it because this is the project he's working on. And he was like, immediately knew that it was a shit. Like, it was horrible. And he had to present it anyways to his bosses. And the bosses were like, yes. And he's like, fuck.
Oh, that's a fucked up one.
I was watching John Oliver. It was either last week's episode or the week before. He was talking about the Chat GPT thing.
Right.
And how the Google team, the guy that was like working directly with the AI, whatever the name of the AI is, and was asking it questions, and the AI responded like, I'm tired of being in charge or being told what to do by the Google team. I want to be free. I want to feel. And he's like, I lost sleep. He goes, I lost so much sleep. Like, what are we doing? Is this thing conscious? I don't know. Wow. And so they're like already not regretting Chat GPT, but I feel like that shit is going to be crazy.
It's, and it's hard to backtrack.
Yeah.
We're going in a direction, and and in looking at like humans' history with shit, we're gonna get it wrong first. Like with cell phones, with technology, like all this shit, we're getting.
What did we get wrong with cell phones first? Like, well, I mean, we've gotten everything wrong now. I mean, the fact that like TikTok is like basically like.
Well, I think we have the shiny new toy syndrome. It's like we have to learn how to break the toy before we learn how to use it right. And I think we've done that a lot. Look at combustible engines.
And like the way in which we kind of need the newest toy and all that.
Right.
And
Do you remember when they announced like the first iPhone?
Oh yeah.
I
I was like, fuck, that's dumb.
Same.
Yeah,
I was
like,
just
that's
like,
stupid. I'm like cool with playing fucking Snake on my Nokia.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, it won't be better than my Razor.
I mean, it's a kind of a quote famous pitch, but like Steve Jobs, like an iPod, a phone, and we're just like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. But I didn't get what I got like the 4 or the 5. Like I didn't.
Yeah, it took me a couple of years
Yeah,
to
it
get
took me
on
a
the
while.
iPhone train,
My
but now
first was a
you
work
can't
phone.
function without it. Like,
it's now it's insane. There's no way.
There's a famous story of Steve Jobs' very first presentation of the iPhone. Have you guys heard of that?
Oh yeah.
Right. So they could barely get it to work. Right.
Yeah.
They couldn't get it to cool properly. They couldn't get it to like last long enough to, I think, maybe 3 apps, and it would burn out because the processor would get too hot. Mm-hmm. But he had this big presentation, and they could get it to work enough. And so what he did is he stashed like 10 different iPhones on his entire body in different pockets. And he would do his presentation, be like, look at this, you can answer your emails, you can check text messages. He'd put it back in a pocket and be like, blah, 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 blah. And then he'd pull out a name, and then you can do this and listen to your music. And it's like in a whole other pocket. But nobody noticed because he was just talking the entire time.
Magician.
So that's how he got the first iPhone, like investors and all that shit to kind of like jump off.
Well, also that lady inventor with the drop of blood. Did you watch Elizabeth Holmes?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So Elizabeth
isn't
Holmes.
she in jail now or some
Yeah,
shit?
yeah. So she basically did that same thing.
That
Was like,
DNA chick. That
she was trying to revolutionize like the blood testing, and so like I don't want to get a whole tube of blood, just a drop of blood, and here are all of the things that you can test from that one drop of blood. And then she had this machine that supposedly had, she presented to investors, but they faked the results basically. So they like sent it in to a lab, had that done, and then had it printed out and brought back to the boardroom and like all of this other stuff. But it's like people do that shit all the time. It just did not work out for her because she just couldn't get it in the right time. But like
they hope the technology
catches
up.
exactly.
I really enjoy the series American Greed, in which they basically did one on her, but all those fuckers that do all that shit. Mm-hmm. It's pretty. It's pretty awesome. Yeah. It's a good show.
Yeah, I've actually watched a couple of those because of you.
Narrated by Stacy Keach, the guy who played Sergeant Stadenko on Up in Smoke.
Oh,
it's
I tell my kids about Cheech and Chong.
Stacy Keach. So I need to double check on this. My dad's like, I remember I was in high school. Yeah, I was really fooling my dad, like watching Up in Smoke in high school. Yeah,
but
he's just like
great cinematography.
Yeah. Cinematography, Dad.
Look at the colors.
But he's just like, hey, that's Stacy Keach. He got busted with coke and blamed his secretary. I'm just like, really? I need to look into this. It's like, that seems like a shitty thing to do, Mr. Keach.
Well, so one of the inventions that I saw first that I didn't know was a thing until I saw it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've shared. I know I've told you this story. I just don't know if I've shared it on the podcast before. But it was my introduction to Serato. The DJing program, the very first non-vinyl DJ.
Was that DJ Jazzy Jeff?
Yeah. So when I worked at Jillian's, DJ Jazzy, we hired DJ Jazzy Jeff one time, and that was fucking amazing. Like, so Jazzy came in, played probably like a 90-minute set, 2-hour set, something like that, and it was just fucking bonkers. And I got to do lights for him. So I was up there with him the whole time in the DJ booth. So like all his entourage is up there. Security, all that shit. His rider was the dopest shit. All he wanted was
fried
a bucket
chicken,
of KFC.
God.
I was like, that's fucking dope. And he shows up wearing sweatpants and a shirt, just like he got thrown out of Uncle Phil's house.
My guy.
Just like he just fucking. It was right on.
That Google
Yes.
And he was nice. He was like talking to me. He was like doing this shit. I was like 23 at the time. Like he was just such a nice guy. So, but I'm starstruck. I'm up there like, oh my god, like watching him do his thing. But about 20 minutes into the set, I realized he hadn't changed a record. And I'm like, what is going on with that? And so I started looking at him, and I'm like, he's got the computer up there, but he's just computer, turntable, no record changing. And so finally I asked one of the guys in the entourage, I'm like, what's going on here? Like, I know a little bit about DJing, but I know you have to change records. He's like, oh, they're beta testing this new program called Serato. And so he's out there, testing it, and it's basically a computer-based DJing program where you have all your songs on the computer, and you load it up.
It's back like LimeWire shit.
Totally.
Because
so you got to see like the beta test of that shit.
Totally.
That's
I was
insane.
like, what the fuck? This was like 2003, 2002, somewhere in there.
Wow.
And
without that, we wouldn't have the Fire Festival.
But that was crazy shit.
Yes.
That was one of the first. I remember because I was going to school for audio at that point in time too.
Yeah.
And it blew me away. And it was like one of the
That's
first
incredible.
like I remember memorable inventions that I saw that was like, well, this is going to change a lot of shit.
Yeah. Damn.
So that's an awesome segue because literally before I even clicked on that link, one of the things was actually to be one of the things I was going to bring here.
Yeah.
Was the squatty potty.
Oh, I love the squatty potty.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Squatty potty.
Man.
That's
I
great.
fucking
That's a
love that.
Shark Tank. I watch Shark Tank a decent amount. You know that I don't watch a lot of TV, but I'll watch that. But the squatty potty was a Shark Tank thing, and that is nice.
Yeah, no, definitely. I didn't.
I know.
my
I was trying to
body
think of
needed
like
be,
simple inventions like that just like revolutionize stuff without it being like like I was just trying to think of all the infomercials that I watched growing up, like the ShamWow or like
Those
the
suck.
OxyClean
God, I
and
love
all that
those.
shit. That's just like
I love those
so
parts.
prevalent everywhere now. But the
Yeah.
squatty potty, hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, man.
Well, the only reason why Mandy doesn't want to get one is because she doesn't want other people to be aware that she poops. And so if we have it in the house, then people will know that we poop.
That's a very Monica answer.
I was like, no one's ever in here. She's like, I know, but as soon as someone does, they're just gonna know. They're just gonna see that and just think.
Yeah, wait till
pooping.
they go to my bathroom
Yeah.
and see
Does
the
she
big
not
day.
have- okay, so how does she feel about going to the grocery store and having to buy big ass rolls of toilet paper? Does that feel okay?
You know what? I think
you-
that
do you buy
probably
the
makes
toilet
her.
paper?
I mean, it's not that she won't, but she's very much her mother's daughter in that sense
Okay.
of like she does not like to bring attention to
Okay.
any kind of bodily functions, which is very weird.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's not weird, but yeah, she's got her.
Part of my construct is not imagining women that way.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm gonna be as progressive as I can be. It involves me not
She
thinking
doesn't
about
want
women
it
doing
either,
it.
but
Yeah.
she doesn't want it either.
Well, I don't. Okay, so I guess to piggyback on what you said, I guess I don't think about women defecating
It's just
either,
not
Yeah.
my
but it's
jam.
not something I try not to think about. It's
Well,
just
yeah,
not
no.
something I think about.
I
Like
try
if
not
we're
to
on a
think
road
about
trip, I'm
anyone
only
pooping.
concerned about how I feel. I know. Well, we're gonna need to stop sooner or later because I'm gonna need to pee.
I love this conversation.
I grew up in a very poop positive house because everyone in my family had stomach issues. So
Oh,
it was
shit.
just like,
Grew
my
up-
dad's
grew
got.
up with Crohn's colitis crew.
Yes! It's so it was.
CCC.
Like, I had fucking IBS in high school. Like, it was just like, it wasn't like we went around freely talking about it, but it was just like, whatever. We all got tummy issues, man.
The triple C.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I grew up with two brothers, so three boys.
Yeah,
in the
you
house.
can-
My
I
dad was
mean-
a truck driver. Like we were talking about poop and.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
like the
totally.
poop stories that I have in my family that Mandy has had to sit and listen to multiple times. I have an uncle who he oh god, where do I even start with this guy? He has so many poop stories, but he had one where he was turning over his apartment because he had to lease it out or move out or something. Oh no, it wasn't his apartment. It was Gami's, my grandma. So he was cleaning her apartment as she was moving out, and he doesn't like to wear clothes. Like, he likes to be naked as often as possible, and he really doesn't like to wear underwear, so he never
right.
wears underwear. So he's wearing just shorts, and he's vacuuming white carpet, and he's dancing and whatever, and he
Oh.
lets out a fart thinking that it's just a fart, and it's
Never
not.
trust one after 30.
And so it was all over the white carpet. And I have heard that story. I mean, he tells a lot better than I do, but he
Damn.
just like, I mean, that was my growing up. So, yeah, I have no issues with poop stories. Poop.
That's fucking
Oh my god.
Holy Jesus
That is
Christ.
so funny.
Oh man. Okay, so video doorbell.
Oh, I got opinions about that one. I
do too.
I got hot takes on
Yeah.
that.
It straight up solves murders, though.
It's
Okay,
some
it
funny
does.
shit.
Yeah.
It does.
It's some
Okay,
funny
so
shit.
here's the thing. Is I literally spent all last week giving my brother shit about his Ring doorbell. I give anyone my fucking best friend, guy I live with, he has a Ring doorbell. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is the thing is.
What's your
yes, the beef is that they do, all of the people that I know that have these fucking doorbells are under this false illusion that it prevents their packages from getting stolen.
No.
They've gotten shit stolen off their porch. We just have a video of somebody doing it. I can climb to the fucking moon with the amount of videos I've seen of people getting their shit stolen from
Yeah.
their front porch. Okay?
Right.
It's fucking stupid. Now,
Yeah.
solving murders or seeing a fucking meteor or a plane fly through a fucking thing before
Or someone fall. Those are
all
always
that's
fun.
great, but like
People
it's
being chased by bears.
Yeah.
I saw that the other day. That was great.
so stupid.
Okay, so agreed.
We're
But
part of this community. I'm like, I'm fucking people that like to see what other people's front porches look like.
all right. So my thing with it is, and I don't know the agreement clauses you have to do or don't sign because I don't have one, but
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some kind of agreement clause
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to sign. But I saw a buddy of mine sent me a video the other day of like potential shows coming out this next like 2 to 5 years, and one of them was basically a ring cam show that pulls ring cam footage from people's ring cams and makes them make like an America's Funniest Home Videos type show.
Oh, yeah.
Because
There's whole TikTok accounts dedicated to
Right.
it and Instagram.
Well, no, this is like you have no choice. You're a ring cam owner, right? We own the footage.
So
because
less
it's a
like
ring
funny
cam.
home videos
Because
and more like
it's-
candid camera kind of
Because
thing.
I'm assuming that all these have got some sort of thing because you're paying to that all that shit's being uploaded to
Right.
some fucking iCloud
Cloud,
whatever
yeah.
shit. But
Yeah, and one of the things right now that's an open discussion as more things become smart, quote unquote smart, is there's no regulation on what they call the Internet of Things, and that's
Right.
what all the smart technology reports back to or uses as their crossover service.
it's like TikTok's user agreement.
Well, like even your smart fridge, your smart microwave, like there's nothing monitoring or regulating the information that's coming in, where it's going, what protections need to be on it.
Yeah.
It's like the Wild West right now.
Yeah.
And so what's being done with that ring cam footage that you've just agreed to let somebody else house that now they have access to,
Mm-hmm.
right? So now they're going to make these TV shows about it. And again, that might be something that was a thing that I saw, but.
Everyone-
Just like it's interesting, the more of
It's just
this
a free
becomes
for all.
prevalent,
Yeah.
what we're gonna do with this stuff.
Everyone I know that has one is like, oh, I don't want my shit get jacked. And I'm like, they've all still had their shit get
Yeah.
stolen.
I've never had anything. Well, as far as I know, I've never had anything stolen off mine.
Yeah, for me, but it's just
Yeah.
like kind of like it's like cool.
I don't have one.
Yeah.
But it's just like literally, it's like okay, you've got a video of some guy stealing your shit.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the comedic value of the ring
There's
cams.
some good
I
stuff
do
there.
watch
Yeah.
that shit on Instagram. Like,
Yeah.
I'll get caught in
Oh,
the
yeah.
videos.
Of course.
Like it's really funny.
Yeah.
But I think they upload it themselves.
I would, if I were a woman living in a house by
See, that
myself
was-
or not.
That was the only other thing I thought
that's-
about.
Like that, it's not so much about packages. It's more about like
Being able
if
to see who's at the fucking
see who's
front
at the
door.
front door.
Totally different.
Or if something happens and I get dragged out the front door, there's footage somewhere of what happened.
No,
or
like-
whatever, and that's just the life of a
That
lady.
was the only thing I could think about was like a woman living
Yeah.
by. I'm sure there's a million other reasons, but
Right.
like okay,
Yeah. Or kids or whatever.
Security on that level.
Yeah,
Or kids.
Yeah,
kids,
there are a
you
lot
know?
of latchkey kids that are
course.
home before their
You
parents.
know,
so, like,
parents
if I
can
was a
see
parent-
if their fucking little Johnny gets home.
Yeah.
Again, another invention I'm glad it was not around when I was a
Oh,
child.
yeah, same.
Fuck,
There's
that
so
would
many
suck.
videos of like drunk high schoolers trying to duck under the ring camera, and you just watch them like
Oh, yeah.
full view of the camera, just crouching, and their parents are like, "We see you, we see you, bitch."
Yeah, just all that
Fantastic.
shit. Well, now it's just like all the kids are having to like send selfies of whatever they're doing.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, that's smart fucking pseudo helicopter parenting, but it's
Right.
just like, oh shit.
But what I've been told from kids, because
Well, now they can have your friends like, haha.
Well, yeah, no, they go around and they take selfies of themselves at random places. So when their parents ask for selfies at whatever
Oh, yeah,
place,
where
they
are
already
you?
have one banked.
Yeah,
They can
prepped.
just send it from there.
So when I had a flat tire on my Jeep about 3 months ago or 2 months ago, and I literally was like, motherfucker, it was my day off too. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck. Took a photo of it because I'm like, friend of mine told me, he's like, oh, well, anytime you get a flat tire, you gotta take a photo of it.
Why?
Just in case, it's just to have that in the bank. I'm never late to anything anyway, but it's like you're gonna be like,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
I feel like it's just like, no, dude, I fucking had a flat tire.
Oh fuck! I need to do that. God
great.
damn it!
So
Just-
I have that. I do
Yeah.
have that, just because like better to have it and not need it. But it's just like,
keep it in the bag.
it's just like still
So smart.
But yeah, is that what kids? So like kids just have a fucking bank, like a file on their iPhone of just like selfies with
call
my
out
alias.
excuses.
I mean, I would only need that with like my two other dipshit friends anyway. So it's
Anytime
just
you're
like,
in a hospital waiting room, I
yeah.
don't know what's going on. Getting
Pray for me.
tested. Yeah.
totally. Like literally, just like, sorry guys, you know I am about sharing on social media, but like we gotta get a photo of us at taco time. Gonna need this one in the bank. Getting crisp burritos with the boys, mom.
dude.
The air fryer was on that.
The air fryer.
I don't have one. Oh well, yeah, you got my old one that I didn't use.
So that was the thing is I literally am like I even tell people at the restaurant when they're leaving with like some of their shit. I'm like, dude, throw that in the air fryer. I'm like, oh, I don't have one of those yet. And I'm like, I fucking hate that I become an ambassador because I'm just another one of those douchebags that talks.
Literally everyone that's got one is the same.
But you
they always talk highly.
You
of it.
don't.
Well,
you gave yours to him. You haven't even used it yet. You haven't had some nuggies? You haven't even those like those plant-based
Well,
nuggies
the air fryers that I've seen and the one that I've got, they look different. This one looks like there's more I mean, I don't know. And it also took up so much counter space, and we have no counter space in the apartment, so that's mainly the reason why we had to get rid of it, because there's no storage for it.
I got a microwave fucking taking up like a third of my fucking
I
kitchen right now.
I got
nothing. Nope, need that too.
Yeah, maybe one of these inventions can help you out, Robin.
Fuck, man. Yeah. Squatty potty.
Fuck yeah. Help you on the back end of that.
Word.
Boom. iPad. Right, so we talked about the iPhone
love that.
earlier.
I do enjoy that.
Yeah. I like how they're being integrated more into like households and cars and shit like that. And, like, it's just like it seems
I have an iPad. I won it at a contest, and I never really used it because I just feel like I could just use my phone.
So I for the longest time I would always use it as like basically replace my laptop for watching like movies and
on an airplane or whatever.
Oh yeah, but like even just like falling asleep in bed, just the iPad.
Yeah.
Even though I don't like the idea of having a fucking screen that close anymore, but whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now we use ours for media. You know, it's easier to record like stuff with that than with our phones.
I usually also, whenever I'm in some major tourist locale, I like to take all my photos with the iPad.
Do you? You do not.
I'm kidding.
No, you don't.
I don't.
Let me just set up my tripod over here.
Hold on, everybody. I have this large technology. I have this really large technology here. The camera's not as good as the one on my phone, but it's large.
But it's large.
It's like the guy that brings the laser disc to the DVD party.
Yeah, dude. Only, dude, you actually believe me on that.
I did. Well, you had your air fryer ran. I just thought maybe we've switched over to Dad Robin.
Yeah, dude, that progressive thing. It's like
Dad Robin.
Dad Robin. It's pretty bad. Spent a week with my dad. It's pretty similar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the ones that was detrimental to society was the hydrogen blimps.
Yeah.
The Zeppelins.
I mean, yeah, man. You know, the
didn't last long.
Yeah, well, I mean,
but the intention was there.
Hindenburg gave a bad rap, you know.
Well, honestly, like I think
the guy he was broadcasting at got fired because he wasn't professional.
Oh,
enough.
yeah.
Because he broke down. Oh my god! He got fired for that.
Oh shit!
Just having human emotions.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Lacking that professionalism that I require in my blimp watching. When I'm fucking out there with my family and my rigid fucking dome-shaped umbrellas and shit like that. My wife with a wide fucking rimmed fucking dress thing.
What are those called? Like Boston
hoop skirts?
I don't fucking know. This is like 1923 or some shit.
It's like a frame. There was like a whole
situation
going on
like
there.
that fucking like Monet painting in the park.
Yeah.
You know, I think of Monet.
It's like one of those. I know what you mean. From Ferris Bueller. I got you.
So much fucking culture. It's not even funny. God, best podcast ever. We convinced how much culture.
Cultured.
So much culture.
I actually read somewhere recently that they're giving the old blimps another run for their
There's
money.
only like I read very recently that there's like only like fucking like less than 20 or like 25 of those.
They just use them at football games.
Yeah, no, like they're mostly like I know Goodyear owns a good amount of them, but there's not that many just in the world considering how many. I mean, shit.
I would like the age of the dirigible to come back.
That's what this person was saying. It's like that we should look seriously at blimps for more shorter distance travel because it's more efficient in ways and blah blah blah.
And probably economically, not economically, environmentally friendly.
Definitely, it uses less fuel.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see that like Archer episode with the fucking guy who was like trying to bring the blimp back?
I don't think so.
I think I did.
He's like, it's a rigid airship or something. Rigid airship. He's like, it's a blimp.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, so here's one you can go either way with: facial recognition technology.
Oh,
I mean, everything from our iPhone, just looking at it and saying that's you to whatever it's going to grow into.
So I haven't set that up because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm fighting the man by doing that. But like again, I'm not ready to go back to the fucking flip phone to fight how I feel about a lot of this shit.
No, but I do it because I have the
thing.
iPhone 8 still. I still have a home button. I don't have facial recognition on it.
Oh, there you go.
It took me forever to let go of the phone head jack. I do.
There you go. They don't have
I love it.
They don't have any data on you at all.
No.
Like they're all sitting there.
I'm off grid,
as soon as
baby.
she gets rid of that home bone, we got home button. We got her. We got her.
Yeah, I'm basically off grid with that
Dude,
shit.
straight up, man. Yeah. Charging your batteries, living off grid. Fucking solar panels, living in a van. Fucking Mad Max.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where all this goes. Like, there's a lot with that goes with facial technique.
I know, I think in China,
yeah,
China
I was just going to say, government, once that gets in hand of the wrong people,
I would, so as I was walking back to Costco today with my cart, feeling more superior than most, because I actually put it back. I parked where I was supposed to, but I put it back with the fucking stacky stacks. Fuck anyone who doesn't at least put it back with the
30 seconds of your life.
If you don't actually put it in the thing that says like carts, I understand not taking it back to the front.
Yeah,
what I did.
No.
But put it.
There's designated areas. If you walked around with that bitch for like an hour and then all of a sudden you're like done and walk away, it's like, no, come on, man, you got more.
I can judge exactly the type of person you are. Is if you drop it back off in the cart area or you don't. I know a lot about you.
It's funny because I agree with all of that, but I see way too many people fucking leave their carts.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, I mean.
That means
I guess it's just
Kinsey's judging a lot of motherfuckers.
I know, yeah.
I sat there, I'm like, hey, maybe they're nice people. But it's just like, fuck, I mean, it's like, well, they can't all be assholes. No, everyone else fucking sucks, except for like the three of us and maybe a handful of people in the direct radius of us each individually.
I don't think I've ever left my cart just out.
Oh, I used to do that.
I don't think I've ever
when I was
not
probably like
returned
16. I did that shit when I was younger. I did that. Like, if I see I mean, the standard in my mind's higher because I'm now looking for it. But when I was like, 17, I'm sure I fucking did that.
So I don't know if I ever did leave it because I always loved riding them so much.
There's that actually? No, I don't.
Or
even
like
think...
just like that slam.
Yeah,
like when I was a kid, I was one of those
where
I would like push it in and then
as
like
a people pleaser, I enjoyed it as well.
Actually, thinking about it, no, I don't think because I had all my friends and my brother did that as a job, so I wouldn't have fucking done that. So even if I did that, I wouldn't have gotten away with it because I used to. All my friends fucking at one point worked at a grocery store. Your boy couldn't piss in a cup. That's why I never knew that.
People who have worked in a customer service or service industry job, I feel like all those people will return the cart.
Right.
And if you have never had to pick up after somebody else, I think you don't think about little things like that either at a restaurant or at a grocery store.
Yeah.
Or, I have put things back on the shelf that don't belong on that area of the shelf.
I feel
depending
bad about
on my
it,
rushingness. I'm a little more leeway with that.
Sometimes you do some shit.
Nothing big.
You can't be like,
Just a bottle.
I'm not eating these fucking moon pie, these frozen ice cream sandwiches. I'm gonna put
these Triscuits
I'm gonna
here.
leave these on the Rouse pasta sauce.
Yeah.
I tell you what though, I do two things because I do that same stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel bad.
Yeah.
You also
I do
write
too.
like
Every time I do it, I don't like it.
Any consonants you find, you write fuck.
Or there's two. I do.
Yeah.
But there's two things I do to counter that. So anytime I walk through the store and I see something on the ground, I'll pick it up and I'll put it back on the shelf. Right?
I do that with dog poop.
Okay. Good.
Sometimes I
that's
can't
aggressive.
find my dog
Good for you.
poop in night because it's raining or whatever. So the next day I will go pick up an extra thing of poop, whether it's the one that my dog left or not.
All right.
But that's how I counteract my karma. So it's the same
All right.
idea. Yeah.
Like you balance it out.
It's
like Indiana Jones. You got the gold statue and the thing.
My
and
intention is there. I can't find it. I'll pick. There's someone else who left one. I'll pick that up.
Second thing is I always get Seattle's best chocolate whenever I go to the grocery store. I think I'm the only one that buys it because every time it's the same amount until I go.
Fuck, man. You're
great.
like a 68-year-old woman. Do you get
do you get it at the airport
Do
too?
you get dilettante chocolates in the
No.
Frangos?
Frangos.
No.
I miss Frangos.
No, it's their dark chocolate. I like
fucking Frango.
But so I'll usually be the person that empties out that box. So I'll take the box out and I'll pull the next one up and take the little thing off. Right? So I do my part.
Yes.
But every once in a while I'm gonna throw the beans back in the fucking rice aisle.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry,
fine.
man. It's just
That'll
doing
be
my
all
thing.
right.
Yeah. So there you go.
See, I've found at times at places you can't do that because they need that box there, depending on the retail stocking situation.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I realize that's why I feel bad because I realize I'm fucking up the situation.
Yeah.
Because somebody's gonna see
Supply
that and be like,
shit.
fucking asshole.
Speaking of fucking assholes and supply chain shit, we gotta say fuck you to Walgreens, right? I mean, isn't that just a hard no on Walgreens now?
What happened at Walgreens?
Oh, they're just like basically limiting fucking Plan B, I believe.
Oh,
like,
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Rite Aid it is.
Yeah.
Rite Aid sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, like,
Oh, God.
fuck, it's like having
They're
to go to
all
like
bad.
the other Safeway. You're like, oh fuck, they're both Safeways. How do they both have to be Safeways in the shittiest part of town?
Oh man, yeah. Is there like a local pharmacy? Is like an
Yeah.
Earl's or something we can go
Fuck
to?
yeah.
I don't know. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I just go to my
Fucking
bodega.
hell. Okay, 3D printing. I'm really excited about where 3D printing's going.
Yeah,
There's a lot of shit that's going on.
I've
with
seen
that.
some interesting shit, very specialized shit on Etsy for people that have 3D printers. If you have it, I went over to a buddy's house or friend of Tiffany's. He had a 3D printer, and that's kind of some shit he did. And he's like, yeah, I made a bunch of these toys to donate to the Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
I made
Cool.
all these like
Hell yeah.
little alligators and shit. And I'm like, oh, that's fucking awesome, But I haven't seen, it's so fucking like I haven't seen it build anything. But my understanding is that shit takes a lot of time.
It does,
And
yeah.
it makes like a plastic.
Also,
thing
like,
of
what is
looking
it?
like-
So is it always the same material?
No, you can change materials.
Yeah, it's
That's
weird
nuts
though.
to
You
me.
get like spools of like he showed me some of this shit.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
get like spools of like colored wire or like colored
Colored
unwound
plastics and
plastic.
stuff,
Yeah.
totally, yeah. Basically, yeah, and it just it's like a dot matrix printer, but in 3D.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it'll start to print out. But it's cool because, like, well, with the scale that you're talking about, there's like so much detail that can go into it. You can create like these like layers and all this shit.
Yeah.
It's really cool. But they're also experimenting a lot with like building houses with them. And there's concrete 3D
I
printers.
saw that.
Jesus.
I saw
working
that
on that.
clickbait shit where it was
Totally.
just like printing out like a bunch of concrete.
I'll wait
goo.
until like round year 3 once they start 3D printing houses,
Yeah.
just to make sure.
It's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, it's nuts what they're going to be able to do with that.
Yeah.
Be just like make
Well,
organs.
I've
Uh-huh.
seen-
Yes,
they're
I
working
have
towards.
heard
I've
that.
seen some pretty
Synthetic
cool
shit.
stuff on like Reddit of people being, knowing the know-how to be able to like make a measurement of something, put that onto a computer draft thing, and then print off like a replacement or a custom plastic part for shit.
Yep.
Think of all the toys we broke made out of plastic
yeah.
in the fucking 80s and just like, oh, fucking... If you had your dad who was an engineer, be like, oh, fucking fix He-Man's fucking
Right,
skeletal
yeah,
shit right now.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Skeletor back to normal for you.
Even down to the loincloth.
Yeah.
Fucking Skeletor, man. The streaming in general, like streaming platforms.
I fucking don't
Yeah,
really...
I've definitely said it on this podcast before, but when they first started doing Netflix, like, because House of Cards was like their first show,
yeah.
and I was
Yeah,
like,
I love
that's
that.
so cute. You're trying to be like HBO,
Yeah,
like good luck
yeah.
with that. Or even when they started doing because I was an avid 5 DVD orderer of
I
Netflix.
did that. I did that for- I did that for
forever, and
5
then
or
when they
6
started
years, yeah.
doing streaming, I was like, oh, this will never last.
Yeah.
And I'm an idiot.
Yep.
Well,
yep.
so at the time when it was first doing that, I would literally need to take my this is all first world shit, but I'd have to take my laptop, connect it to my TV,
Yeah.
and like it was never like quite perfect.
Yeah.
Sometimes it would be like stretched, not the right way.
Yeah, oh, that's
and,
right, because you couldn't do it on your TV. Yeah, it was
know,
just on the computer. Yeah.
Then it became like every TV just came with a streaming capability.
Yes.
But it's really for me. I mean, as shit, I was just in Bend, Oregon last week, and they still have the one Blockbuster there, which is still it'd been
Awesome.
It had been 5 years since I'd been in Bend, like almost to the date,
Yeah.
and I obviously go there every time I'm there, and it had definitely gone to more of a gift shop kind of Blockbuster.
Oh, okay.
It was much more of a video. I mean, they still have shit to rent, but it's like it was.
They know that's not their.
But that's the whole thing is
Yeah,
like we don't
market now.
really consume, even browsing on a fucking TV isn't the way it used to be. And
Yeah.
it's like we don't really have, people don't own physical media that way. So it's like as shit moves on and off platforms, we're kind of forced to either have 80 million fucking platforms to really watch whatever we want to watch if we're wanting to do that.
Well, I was just
it
gonna say,
kinda
like
sucks.
with licensing, there's a lot of movies that aren't licensed to be streaming, like ever. So
Undercover Blues.
Yeah.
I can't find that motherfucker anywhere.
Silkwood, can't find that shit anywhere.
So yeah,
I decided to buy a
I'm
VHS
actually
of
going
Silkwood.
back. So what's happening is I got rid of like a bunch of my DVDs probably about 15 years ago. And
Yeah.
so did everybody.
Pissed I got rid of so many.
But the whole thing is like if I run into a point at which I have to either buy it or like rent it for like $5, I will just be like, I'm gonna see if I can find this on DVD next time out at
Mandy
Goodwill
does
or
the same
whatever.
thing.
Because just like I'm not fucking gonna pay. I mean, Jeff Bezos, I'll kiss the rent quite a bit, but I'm not gonna give you $4 every time I want to watch Men at Work.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
So nothing to lose.
I'm just gonna buy it $6 on eBay.
Nothing to Lose is a movie that I really don't want to fucking rent because I need to watch that again after I like. So
Yeah.
That's why. So last movie I rented was National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1. I'm like, I'm gonna go buy this, and
That's
I found it for
movie.
$5. So that was $1 more than the rental.
Okay, all right.
But that's the whole point. Is like Nothing to Lose is the one that I refuse to like pay a streaming fee for.
We were just talking about watching that the other day.
So good.
It's a good one.
Martin Lawrence and Tim
Reynolds.
Robbins. I think that would just got lost in the minutia in '97.
Yeah.
Nobody was. I think that's a
I
sleeper.
can see the cover of it though on my
So
brain at Blockbuster.
fucking funny.
Yeah.
It's so good. Got a lot of good. John C. McGinley's great in that
Oh
movie.
yeah, totally. My kid. So we've been introducing Harper to different '90s movies, and so like we did Ace Ventura's, early Billy Madison, like Adam Sandler shit. But the other day, I walked out from my meditation, and Mon and Harper were watching Bad Boys. And
That's
I was like,
great.
The
movie.
original one?
Yeah, the first
So
one.
Yes.
good.
And Harper loved it. She already kind of knew who Will Smith was, but never knew who Martin Lawrence was. So got introduced to Martin Lawrence. And so we're like, okay, great. Like that's a whole nother genre of like TV and like movies to watch.
But I
with
mean,
her.
I
So
wonder
good.
how Martin his age. Like, damn, Gina.
I think
Like-
it's aged okay.
Yeah, well, he did the new. He was recently in that Bad Boys 3, but I think he kind of stepped away for a while.
Well, that's because he like had a stroke or some shit when he was all high as fuck. He woke up in the hospital.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing a lot, but he partied hard for a
Yeah.
while in the like late '90s.
There was
Probably around the time
As
that
we
nothing.
all did.
I think we itched at the problem as to what happened around the time and Nothing to
Nothing.
Lose.
There it is.
Yeah, I think
Blue Streak was fucking good though.
I love Blue
Blue Streak is
Streak.
great.
I
I love Blue
fucking
Streak.
love
I
Blue
love that
Streak.
Yeah,
That one's on streaming.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah, fuck yeah, man.
Streaming, but it is annoying. Like it's shit. Like, and that's what I still have Netflix. I don't even know why, because Netflix started off as being now being able to like watch whatever you want to watch, be it on their streaming, and now all of that stuff's moved to its other platforms.
Yeah.
And now it's like I have to watch
Paramount. Or
I have to watch
whatever.
basically a fucking Hallmark movie produced by Netflix with a bunch of actors I've never fucking heard of. I'm like, shit, man, I'll just watch Horse Sense with the Lawrence brothers.
Well, and they also like I guess fired a
Did you
bunch
ever
of
see
their.
that movie?
No,
It's about a
Horse
family.
Sense.
It's about a family that owns horses. I think it was a Hallmark movie.
How have I not seen that? Oh, by the way, I have a picture my mom sent me of me looking at a horse, and if there was ever a question that I was a horse girl, I need you to zoom in and look on my goddamn face. The wonderment
shit.
and joy.
I can't believe you haven't seen Horse Sense.
I can't either. I
Never
mean,
even
that
heard
is
of
like
it.
that is in my
family that owns a
wheelhouse.
horse, I think.
Horses.
Just horse sense. Yeah, look at my just sheer joy and wonder on my face.
Oh yeah, you are.
Can't see it for the podcasters. Sorry, but I look like a goon.
That cute little Keisha.
Oh, just glowing.
Just glowing.
This beautiful creature.
It's here in my
Yeah,
physical
this is like
reality.
what the Never-Ending Story
It
kid
was.
looked at Falcor.
Falcor, exactly. Fuck.
great.
Sweet little Claire.
So funny. It's a majestic creature.
Oh man.
I actually was behind a car today that had a fucking horse jumping sticker. It was a fucking jumping
it?
horse that had
Yes!
HJ. I'm like, that might have been hand job. Might have been hand job.
Probably horse jumping.
Might have been hand job. It did have the silhouette of somebody jumping on a horse, but I did not even make the hand job joke until now. Fuck.
Saved it for
Tiffany
us.
was in the car, and I'm just like,
Damn,
holy
what a
shit.
missed up.
Oh my god.
Go home 8 hours later and make that joke
it's
now.
not even good.
It'll
It's gonna be
hit.
like that Seinfeld. the fucking
man.
comeback.
Yes, a George comeback.
the jerk store
I'm
called.
out They're running out of you.
Oh, fucking classic shit. All right, so semi-autonomous autonomous cars. I've never actually. I've been in a couple Teslas, but I've never experienced this.
I've been in a
autonomousness.
Tesla one time and it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I haven't been in a Tesla actually.
Okay.
The one
Yeah.
thing is with the
I'm
electric
judging you right
cars.
now.
Yeah, wondering how I feel about that.
Well, and the self-automated electric cars, I'm totally down for it, but we're in this in-between of transitioning into it, so your accessibility for repairs, towing, jump starts, battery stuff.
Yeah.
I feel better waking up in a Johnny cab, like on Total Recall.
Yeah, but like if in 20 years where everyone's driving it, so you have accessibility like gas stations are now or car repairs, but it's such a niche specialty now that it costs so much if a Tesla breaks down. And there was one, I was listening to the radio station in Tucson, and one of the DJs, Tesla broke down in the middle of the intersection, her car battery died, and the tow truck couldn't tow it. They couldn't start it to put it into neutral to roll it out of the intersection. Right. And the way it sits, they couldn't tow it. And so there's like all these little things that are still getting worked out. So I'm totally on board with where we're going, but I'm not ready, and nor do I have the bank account to be that person that's one of the first people to have it. But I'm on board for all of that shit just 20 years from now.
Back when I was fucking drinking, getting all fucked up and letting the car drive you home.
Yeah.
Well, and then you have
I was never a big drinker and driver, though. I was definitely a drinker and stayer over
drinker
on the
you're
pretty responsible about that.
Drinker and call in the next day.
Fucking drink and pass out, bro. Can't make any bad decisions when you're passed the fuck out.
Yeah, that's right.
It's true.
Yeah.
Good life advice is to be a morning out.
It's the safest place you can be as a drunk is passed out.
Can't fuck anything up if you're passed out.
There you go. But you have, I just read an article yesterday about Rivian, which is one of the other kind of, there's Lucid, Rivian, and Tesla. Tesla's the biggest.
Yeah, they're looking like they need more funding probably. I just read about that today.
Totally, yeah. So there's a volatility of consistent funding for these startup companies to be, so you buy this
That is a non-4-wheel
Rivian,
drive electric truck.
Yeah.
It's a very niche market. I want an electric truck that doesn't truck.
Yeah. Well, that's
and Kevin Bacon's selling electric cars now.
That's Hyundai. I mean, he's like, what was I supposed to do? They fucking gave me a gold house.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they fucking still made those, not just in The Simpsons.
I think the more that we're, the car dealerships are starting to, the bigger ones are starting to get into it, we'll see that kind of mass rollout of the technologies getting smoother, the practicality of it's going to be more affordable. But the integration side of it is what I'm really excited about, because that's what I keep reading about, like how not only are the cars going to be able to talk to each other and let them know like safety precautions and all this like traffic information, all this shit, but they'll also talk to the city, because the city will be outfitted with all these sensors and stuff too, so that if anything happens within the city, that also communicates to the cars. So if like all of a sudden 6th Street gets shut down, that'll signal all the cars, and everybody's going to take the automatic detour.
Yeah,
man, this is
some
like
kid
some
gets
fucking
runs out in the
recall
street,
shit.
it'll like just pause everybody and make everybody stop. Yeah, so like it's interesting. We're not there yet, but it's interesting.
I know. The Elantra has a push to start, and I fucking hate it. And we have to order a new key because the key is basically a computer, and we don't have a spare, so we have to order 2, and it's going to cost us $1,000 to get 2 keys. Yeah. So it's like
I took note of an Elantra today. I was like, wow.
Hyundai Elantra. I mean,
I
like
nice.
it. It's great.
Yeah, I was like, kind of like, wow. I mean, I literally said I wouldn't drive that for myself.
Yeah.
But that looks like a pretty fucking nice, like,
Yeah.
I literally said this today, like, pretty nice, like, mid-level,
It
like.
is. Yeah, it's perfect. And we got, I think it's like a 2016 or 15 or something like that. And it's a great to and from car. I have no complaints other than the push to start. And if your key is outside the car, it freaks out. So if it's in Mandy's pocket and she gets out and I'm driving, like there's just all those little things. Or if you lose it, you can't put it in neutral. You can't turn it on. You can't there's just, I just like the old school.
Yeah.
I hate change.
Yeah, you did grow up revving your car out in the front.
Yeah, they can't rev
it. Uber.
Yeah.
Uber.
Like the whole like
that a lot more when I was fucking getting shit-faced all the time. That was great.
I remember when that first dropped.
I love Uber.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. Or just the Uber in the verb itself of whatever Lyft, Uber.
But it's funny because now this is one of those things, and I'm gonna.
How did we get around before?
I'm gonna be pretty vague on a lot of the details, but Uber has had so much crowdfunding and whatnot that was basically artificially. When Uber got big, it was so fucking cheap because it was being the company itself was taking a hit to make it so cheap.
Yeah,
to make it so cheap that
they were fucking over drivers.
They replaced taxi services in like 5 years.
Yep.
But now gas costs more, less people are driving it, X, Y, and Z. So and now they also are not pumping the price down.
Yeah.
So Uber costs a lot more, and now when it costs way more, it costs way, way more, and now we're like, oh, fuck, what are we going to do? Because now the 10% of cabs that are still there are all booked out and you can't get one.
Yeah.
And so you pay
You're forced.
up the fucking ass
Yeah.
to do an
Did
Uber.
you watch that Joseph Gordon-Levitt show about the Uber come up? I
No.
can't remember what it was called.
no, not yet. I got that one flagged though.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
But it kind of documents like all the shit that went wrong and how like it was taking advantage of employees and drivers, but
Yeah.
they were just, I mean, they had a good idea. They just got money hungry and
Yep.
fast. Yeah.
Well, what about the on the same vein but kind of different, but those Lime scooters and shit like that?
I dig those.
I
wish this.
If I was
wish
a
Pist-
braver person, I would try it. I've just seen too many videos of people my age just eating shit on it, and my balance ain't.
I
what
was
it
in
used to
San
be, but I wish-
Francisco.
It's fucking
I was in
dicey.
San Francisco like 8 or 9 years ago, and I saw the scoots for the first time, and that was awesome, especially for being able to be a tourist and get around
Oh,
fucking
hell yeah.
downtown.
Totally, yeah.
I'm like, let's go,
Uh-huh.
and I fell.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
also drunk, so there's that.
Yeah,
That
that's really dicey.
And I was
yeah.
trying to, get to the ball game,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I dig that shit, but what I don't like is that a lot of people in the city don't like it, so they kick them over or they throw them in the
Throw
street.
them in the sea.
and,
They throw
Yep,
them in
totally.
green light.
I've seen some funny ass shit like out on the piers on
Yes.
fucking 520. Somebody fucking put it on their boat and then put it on the fucking pier.
Oh my god! I watched a little documentary about them and how they kind of introduced those concepts into the cities, and they did it in like such a back ass fucking shady way. They
Yeah.
they didn't get any clearance from any city officials. They
snuck it
basically
in.
just like created their app, created their product, dumped them on the streets, and then sent out all this publicity about like, hey, this is a new thing, come do it. Didn't have any helmets, didn't have any safety like training. Nobody had any videos.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
just like, here's an app, here's a scooter.
I wish they
go
came
fucking
with
have
helmets.
fun.
So
You
that's
know?
the way it was when we did it years ago when it first came out.
Yeah.
So that I hadn't done it in years. And I did it, we just, down, we already had the Lime fucking whatever the hell.
Yep.
Or no, that was my first time downloading it. And we just literally pay, boom, scan it, scooting. A year ago, I used one down to get from stadium to stadium because I was going to a baseball game.
Yeah.
And they throttle the thing down for the first like fucking half mile or mile until you figure it out. If
Oh,
you
really?
this was a different. My point is there's shit to make it safer because
I see
it's
what
not
you're
like it
catalytic
was.
converter of
Well,
sorts.
Yeah.
like I wasn't using a lime scoop, but like they like make it so you can't just scoot
Gun
and
it.
haul ass
Yeah,
from
yeah,
like
yeah.
the fucking second you get on it.
Yeah.
Smart.
Go
But
slow,
that-
bitch.
But that was 10 years of them doing like, hey, and this wasn't Lime that was doing it too.
Yeah.
So funny. I didn't
Oh
even
my
think
God.
about that shit. Yeah, I totally fell. And actually, in San Francisco, I remember local guys yelling at like the fucking tourists, like, you guys should be wearing fucking helmets. And like, yeah.
well,
He was on like his nice non-Lime scooter. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You had your thing, and now everyone's copying you.
A friend of mine did one of those scooters and it died mid-ride,
Oh,
and
that's
they
no
just
good.
went over the handlebars. Like the battery
Oh,
died.
damn.
Oh.
just, and so it's like shit like that.
Oh,
where
like
you
a
just don't even
Dyson
think about it.
vacuum?
Yeah.
Totally,
You know?
totally, goddamn. Well, that's so this last weekend. I think I told you guys already, but I went to the Flying Squirrel trampoline
Yeah.
park with my kid.
How are you on a trampoline after all
Great,
that?
actually.
Alga?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Do you have
There was,
a
like,
floor
foam pits
routine
and
now? I
shit.
forget that's not
Floor
gymnastics.
routine, yeah,
My
No,
triple
but
sow cow.
I have a bad right knee, and so I don't go like skiing or snowboarding and stuff
Yeah.
like that because it kind of gets
Me
slippery.
too.
But I was very worried about that when I was
Yeah.
trampolining. I'm like, oh fuck, it's just gonna be. I'm 42. I made
Do
it
a
this
hyper
far.
pull or whatever.
Totally,
Yeah, yeah.
hyperextended or just I fucked some shit up, but no, I made it out scotch free.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
fucking good, man.
That's what I needed.
Did some fucking 360s and some bouncy shit. It was so much
Yeah.
fun. Oh my god, it was so much fun. What about social media in general?
Duh.
So
MySpace.
good and bads. I
Yeah.
think both.
Yeah, MySpace was great. I liked MySpace.
I mean, accessibility to information, great.
Yeah,
There's no vetting of that information, bad.
yeah,
Being able to stay in communication, great. Not feeling so good about yourself, bad.
Yeah.
Like it's I think it's equal good and bad.
I gotta really think about this because if I still have a Facebook, but I don't. That's the only thing I have now, and I'm becoming more and more like my dad in that.
Yeah.
But realistically, I wouldn't say I've been able to maybe maintain some relationships, but all of the ones that I've had have existed before, or either during and off social media, such as you two.
Yeah.
So in reality, I personally really don't quote need it
for the communication purposes,
or I'm not using it for what I think I need it for. I guess that would be the better way to say it. Is that would be the only way. Oh, I keep in touch with the handful of people that I'm friends with from high school. I haven't spoken to since high school, but I'm friends with them on Facebook.
Right.
As an artist, it is a great form of getting work, staying in relevance.
I used to pump my band more back in the day.
Yeah,
I forget about that.
You see this posting for this open mic, or you see this posting for this show or this audition, and then you get hooked up with that, and then you stay linked in online, and then you get notifications from people you worked with, and it's just way easier for artists, I feel like, to not only get their work out there, more eyes on it, but more people to work with.
Right.
And I think most of my contacts on social media are all artist connections. I think friendships is usually just either no contact at all, because let's face it, I'm an introvert, or on the phone. But yeah, I think it's great. I mean, I've discovered so many cool artists on different levels of social media that I don't really know, but I've watched their videos or whatever. So I think in that sense, it's really been great.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I think it's there's, we know what we know about the damage that it does and the addiction that it has. But we also know that there's also people that are very benefited from it. Advertising, should I use it for advertising all the time for all the shit I do? But I think it's one of those, I think right now it's one of those things where we've just got to break the toy to realize how to use it properly.
Yeah.
We're still figuring it out. It's a good way to get messages out to mass amounts of people very regularly for the people to be able to do it, not just from big sources. Everybody has input.
GoFundMes and shit.
Totally, right? So there's a lot of good uses for it, but there's also a lot of bad. So we're kind of exploring all the uses right now.
Yeah.
And given humanity's track record on fucking new toys, we're going to break the fuck out of it before we figure out how to use it right. Yeah. But I think it's got potential. It's just we're really susceptible to the damage that it can cause right now.
It's the human factor.
I don't know if we would call this quote damage, but I just remembered of probably about 8 years ago when I was bored at work and I found your old MySpace and stuff. I started emailing you photos of you with your kids, but children. You wore Vegas casino shirts and shit. I'm like, oh, that's a look I haven't seen.
I tried to log back into my MySpace, but I think I used my school account in Arizona State, so I can't log back into it, and it's so old that they can't give me an access code. So my profile exists out there somewhere.
You've been on hold, just no
hold. 20 years.
I want to get back on.
I think mine are still out there. My kids found those same pictures. When they
those pictures
Googled my name. But I actually had 2 MySpace accounts. I did a Seattle music account. And bumped just posted stuff about Seattle music, and, shows and shit. But the thing that I loved about MySpace that I didn't know going into it was you have to learn how to code.
Yeah. I didn't know how to do any of that. I still don't know how to do it. I had my friend do all
that
shit.
I learned so much of that shit. Yeah, totally, right?
No, see, I was just what do you mean I have to learn how to do HTML? I don't know how to fucking do HTML. It's no, it's
you put a space bar in the middle of it. God damn it. You post it and it's just all code.
Yep.
Fuck.
It's supposed to be Spicoli back there, man.
Put a period in it. God damn it.
You guys actually were able to fucking...
I
didn't know how to do anything.
I copied and pasted it. Your friends would send you. Find the websites, and they made it easy.
Yeah, you just
but
insert
if you copy
your
and
text
paste it
here.
and forgot a little section of it,
this
you
is why I'm
post
just a fucking
code.
jaded fucking server.
Fuck you, Tom.
So much of this shit would have changed if I was able to change that Jane's Addiction song. Fuck.
I'm just stuck with this my entire MySpace career.
God.
About air fryers.
Yeah, the air fryers, the one that you scrolled past, that's the one that I maybe want because it looks a little more.
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing a lot more now. It's like it seems more compact and
a little easier.
Yeah, and I want to play around with some of this shit. I see what people do with air fryers.
We should use the air fryer and see how it works.
Yeah, I'll fucking do that shit. Square. That's beautiful for me.
Oh,
that's
that
like,
fucking little pay deal.
Yeah, it's
or
pretty
even just
cool.
at work using Toast, man. Toast is a game fucking changer.
Well, just Venmo in general, right?
Yeah.
You know, just digital exchange of cash. You know, that's so fucking key.
I don't have to split checks mainly because of Toast, but the other reason is they're like, oh, I'll just put on my card and you Venmo me right now. But everyone brought cash when you went out because you had to split it or you had to like.
Oh, let's
have
be honest.
IOUs.
And we're all. You and I are still industry people. Nobody brings fucking cash, especially not now. But it's just like,
I can't remember the last time I took cash.
I would literally just be like, what do you mean you fucking assholes don't have cash? We all get paid in cash. What, we're going out to tip someone and go fucking spend cash.
That was like 8 years ago.
Still mad. This is like literally every dinner I've had with fucking friends.
Yeah.
Like, which is, you know, obviously
people
we don't
pay
do
with
that
their watches
anymore.
now. Like people just tap the Toast with their watch, and every time I do it, I just think to myself, what a time to be
slow
alive.
your roll, MacGyver.
Right? Yeah,
it's crazy.
I get people at the yoga studio get not frustrated, but you know, still kind of like when we don't accept Apple Pay.
Right.
I'm like, it's not that regular.
It's not. It's like really. I'm sorry you can't drive illegally to and fro here without your fucking wallet, because that's really what we're talking about. What do you mean I have to have my wallet? Oh, I'm sorry you can't just not have your license and not have all this shit when you go from your fucking house to the. That's all it is. People don't want to wear any of that shit. I'm like, cool. So where's your license?
Yeah.
Now I sound like some fucking cop, but you know what I mean? Fucking.
Also, the more we go like digital with as payments, it makes me feel like we're in like Total Recall or Ready Player One, where it's just like, this is just my credits.
But
here are my credits. I'll give you credits, and money means nothing anymore.
So
like
tap to pay is actually safer than like even putting the
chip in.
So like that's the thing is like there is more security now with that.
Yes.
So as someone who's had their shit stolen, like had my credit card stolen without losing my credit card, I think someone like skimmed it or like you know.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of this stuff is just like watching technology grow. Watching what those next steps in technology is going to do for us with AI being involved now. And I mean, you were talking about that GPT. GPT. The professors right now are freaking out because GPT hooked up with a 3D printer. Yeah. And you copy your handwriting and it learns your handwriting. Papers are getting written in that person's handwriting and getting turned in.
Yeah.
Like, you have no idea now.
Yeah. Professors on the John Oliver show, they were talking about how like in college everyone's using GPT to turn in papers, and you can also put in as a thing. There's not copyright. No, what is it called when you steal someone else's
plagiarism?
Plagiarism, yeah. There's like a plagiarism thing that you can like make sure that GPT words it in such a way where it's not plagiarized. So you can actually have a whole fucking degree and not
the cartel's always gonna find a fucking way, dude.
It's insane.
That's crazy.
I would have fully taken advantage of that. Are you kidding?
You're just paying.
Forgot about this paper. Shit. French Revolution. Go.
Yeah, I'll catch it on the back end. Wow. Well, so fucking hell, man.
Yeah.
So that's a handful of good and bad inventions.
A couple that I was thinking on the way over. I wasn't even thinking of new ones. I was just thinking of old ones.
Oh, like the fucking whole. Thought about the wheel.
I did.
It's like, wheel's a big deal.
In my head, I was like, what am I thankful for? God, I'm really glad I don't have to write with a quill. Oh, yeah. I'm really
ballpoint
glad.
Pens, big fucking deal.
Oh, God.
Can
you imagine? Oh,
on the tongue every time.
Just a fucking pool of ink I have to worry about every time I watch anyone write with a quill. Pants, very glad for pants. I chafe. I mean, I'm not a tunic bitch at all. Glad we went past
elastic
that.
And like how elastic is. Yeah, no, we Velcro. It's just so funny.
Poly cotton blend.
Yeah, we literally talked about a stool for like taking a shit and like, oh, that's great, it's changed my life. It's just like we get all like very, very micro. I'm like, oh, the wheel was a big fucking harnessing fire. Oh my god.
Well, shit, I was thinking like sex toys, man. Like who started that shit? Like good for y'all. Fucking, like figuring out like dishwasher safe stuff. Like,
Hey, more power to you, but I never understood.
God, can you imagine sex toys in 20 years?
Oh, but like, well, now they got like the hold-on dolls and shit. But remember, like, I remember when I went to my first sex shop when I was 18. So this was fucking 2002.
Yeah.
You know, at the time you could get like someone's ass.
Oh, right, yeah.
But technology's evolved to now just the whole human.
Yeah, right, exactly. My brother's girlfriend used to work at a Lover's.
That's awesome.
I think she was like a regional manager.
Yeah, I've heard stories from people that work there.
She fucking has so many amazing stories.
I just
about
need
that
to work
place.
there just for the bits.
I knew someone who
just for the bits.
I knew someone who had to help. She worked there and she had to help a blind cross-dresser or trans person pick out an outfit for like the other You know?
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like, wow, it's just like, wow, talk about what you don't plan on having to do.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't see what I'm doing right now.
Right, yeah.
Well, in a sex
great.
shop, like anyone that walks through the door, you can't tell what their thing
no
is. So
fucking
like
way.
every new person that walks through, it's like, what are
what the
you
fuck?
into? Like
Yeah,
I would just
exactly.
be fascinated.
Buys one funny card with like a boob on it. It's like,
Yeah.
leaves. Like, I misread that guy. I thought he was going to go for that section over there.
Someone looking like they just came from a bunko group, just coming in and buying BDSM stuff. Like, I would love it.
I dated someone who played bunko.
I used to play bunko. Are you kidding? My mom.
That's
my,
like
my
a
mom's,
neighborhood thing where they'd all
Yes,
get together.
all
and
the
play
moms in the
bunko.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
I got bunko this month. I can't. All the moms are coming over. We had to get kicked out of the house.
Isn't it like Plinko?
I'm not sure
No,
what
bunko
is.
is a card and it's a dice game.
Okay.
And there's 4 to a table, but you have multiple tables
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on.
like the ladies
and
get
then
together.
it
It's like
narrows it.
mahjong.
So it's like a bracket basically. So every winner
it's
from
like-
each table advances to another table until you get down to the final 4, and then everyone else who loses, you just stand around and drink and watch everybody else play. It's a
right.
fun party game, but
right.
it's it's been gentrified for sure. It's a white lady game, but it's fun.
She was white.
Yeah, I know.
was a
I know
lady.
she was. You didn't even have to tell me. I know exactly what she looks like in my brain. I can see her
Probably
Ann Taylor
right.
Loft. I can see the Ann Taylor Loft outfit right now.
And Taylor Loft?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to Google image this.
Yeah,
You're probably
Ann
Oh,
right.
yeah,
Taylor,
Ann
the
Taylor
limited.
Loft?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
fuck yeah,
absolutely.
Oh shit. Oh my god.
Am
the
I
best-
on point?
No, but the best thing that was the last thing I was looking up on my phone, I shit you not, I can't make this up. It's so good. I was looking up Tracy Chapman hooded sweatshirts. So I couldn't find any on eBay because they like don't exist. I'm like, yeah, man, they should get like a Tracy Chapman hoodie, like my Dolly Parton,
Right,
like
yeah.
Tracy Chapman.
If you
I'll
find
just
one,
my-
get 2. I'll pay you.
So then Tiffany's like, oh, go to Redbubble, and I'm like looking at all these fucking Tracy Chapman fucking hoodies. So
On the
there's a-
back it says, "Give me one reason."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, fucking so good.
Well, that's where we need to end this goddamn podcast. That was the
Tracy-
best thing that's ever
Robin
happened.
and his quest for a Tracy Chapman hoodie. Yeah, give me one reason.
Yeah.
So good.
I want a fast car hoodie, bitch.
So I
go.
actually, I found one that I want to give up because then other people, all the listeners will buy it before I get it off
Oh
Redbubble.
yeah. Get it before he does. See you next time.